You could give us a little introduction about yourself, how you came to the States, and what led you to Way of Jiu Jitsu Academy here in Denver, Colorado.
My name is Nobuo Yagai. Um, I came here 2000 as a Uchideshi, which is a living in academy, learning martial arts, how master live and each movement.
What's Uchideshi? So it's like the
Uchideshi is it's like a traditional Japanese learning system. You're gonna learn just not only techniques, learning teacher's lifestyle and philosophy, of course, how he actually live. So each even he pick up the teacup, you see the movement, everything too. So learning life, how do you say,
like a life philosophy.
life philosophy, just not only technique or just only competition strong, yes.
What were some of the things that you learned when you were doing the Uchideshi program here?
I learned lots of mental strength. So my master was well-known kind of living samurai in Kyokushin karate world, and that's why I chose to come here from Japan. And yeah, he was living like a samurai. It's very hardcore. Samoa maybe I shouldn't talk right now. But I learned just um, it's uh, it's not just for competition, like no athlete. It's just, for example, anytime you get to attack, it's kind of preparing everything and how to put on a teacup. So if someone we are drinking tea, and you have to notice the teacup was empty, and you have to pour before the person have to pour yourself. It's kind of a Japanese hospitality, and generally in Japan people do on a traditional way, and it actually started losing in Japan. But those idea you can use to the martial arts. It's almost like it's not like convention already. Say go not like this.
Right.
It's someone maybe like whatever ninja attack, boom. You gotta be response. That's the idea for Uchideshi. So like we are living, even sleeping or just general time, we have to be not prepare, but no. Like not switch on off. Like we are constantly try to be learning being a martial arts even not on the mats, I think. Yeah.
Interesting. And then what led you to jiu-jitsu? Did you experience jiu-jitsu when you were in the States? Or?
Yes, actually in Japan, I had experienced my Japanese university professor invited, he was a traditional Aikido Jiu-Jitsu instructor, and he was like teaching how to martial arts to move the body mechanics. And then, hey, Nobu, I can show something interested. He knows I was belong to boxing club. And then he invited his class, and that was interesting experience. Aikido Jiu-Jitsu is before Aikido. Aikido comes from Aikido Jiu-Jitsu, and Aikido Jiu-Jitsu kind of sit down knee on the ground and grab the wrist, and then the kind of sparring, like fighting from the position. And whenever do the position, people couldn't move, or some interesting skill. Aikido. So I was in my head. I was young, so I liked more like punch and kick and more scramble things. And I came here, and I was doing the uchideshi and practicing karate. And I heard, the guy done a crazy jiu-jitsu very tough. And that at that time, that just pride start. And karate guy fight against the jiu-jitsu and judo like as a kind of exciting time. And we had a challenge match on headquarters, my karate school. and he asked like, oh, if I win, I want to get paid. And then we are young. Then actually, master was in Japan like for the seminar. Then like, oh, you have to sign up waiver. We can do this. Like we were like, my master did a lot actually in Denver, Japan. And my master actually, he was a Kyokushin champion, all Japan champion, and like a top Kyokushin fighter. And but when he did challenge match, actually he punch and kick and cross the range and grab and take him down. He was actually judo set champion, and take him to the ground. He finished a triangle choke. So he was already did in the 70s, kind of MMA style. Then like I was in my head, oh like might need the kind of grappling. Then the challenge match time, and I did fast. So guy was very tall, but I had kind of confidence, and I knocked him out as a punch, and we could stop, but Kyokushin style, just one give up, like we have to do again and make sure he understand. And then another my friend, he was actually all Japan junior judo champion, and he was doing the same thing, apprenticeship. And then for him, he didn't use the karate. He just latch on the gi. He take the tai otoshi, which is like a big throw. Bam! The guy was facing here, then he choking, and then the guy was totally couldn't do anything. Then after I thought, wow, actually, how he fought was safer than me. I could get lucky punch. He had more longer reach than he was striker. And after I think like, what if he was wrestler, and I don't know anything on the ground? Then actually me and my friend start to kind of sneak out on the nighttime, playing grappling school, which is a grappler's edge, like a kind of walking distance. And there's a bunch of submission wrestling type people, lots of tough guys. And I start to run, kind of start to expose the world, never touch the ground. And wow, this is like whole different world. And even smaller people can take over. I see the martial striking world sometimes, but I think striking smaller people to knock other people out within a 5 minutes, it's super have to be skilled, and it could be definitely decision. But Jiu Jitsu, you can tap. I mean, other person's gonna say, I give up, which is a tap. And then, wow, this is kind of fun. And I had all the guidelines from the Gracie, and his student was fighting the UFC, and old UFC before Dana White Ball. And what my friend, oh, you can kind of set up a challenge match, but no punch kick, kind of friendly. And I was doing a little bit grappling too. So, oh yeah, sure. I went there, and I could also effortless tap me out. He was a purple belt that time. Then like, he was super nice guy by the way. And, wow. Like, this is interesting. I think before go to Japan, I have to run a little bit before go to Japan. And I kind of start slowly, kind of deeper than where I am. Yes.
That's pretty interesting. So you got a long, kind of a crazy history with Jiu-Jitsu. When you got into Jiu-Jitsu, did you think you were going to be teaching?
Actually, not. Recently, I recognize more. Since I'm teaching, we talk to lots of students, and I came here America from. I want to be like real samurai, and I was a college student. My parents have helped me. Like I thought present easy life. It's always kind of at a party, and I needed to. Oh, I gotta need more discipline, hardcore, and used to be samurai. Go to different states to challenge yourself, or like go to the mountain. But this era, like kind of going to the mountain by myself and to, challenge your spirit is kind of different, So then like Kyokushin found Masu Oyama did America, go to America then challenge yourself. I didn't know the Kondekoma story back then, but like I always thought that was cool. And my karate master was same thing. He came here, like lots of challenging here. And I came here, and I wanted to be just like learning like samurai spirit, like being a mental toughness, true mental toughness, not just win a champion. Then like recently I told one of my students too, like actually I never interested in world champion. As a competitor I shouldn't say that. But actually I was not really interested in the kind of world championship title or like I like to compete it, and after recognize that was more tool for learning like my mental strengths. And of course, medal is kind of cool. Like it's a piece of the medal, but like it's like almost a collective item. It's just satisfaction yourself. And but I think that the competition is a great tool to go through. You learn a lot of things and you meet a lot of people, and it's a fun thing to do. But after go through and the master Higa Machado told me that's about philosophy, and I think I remember that was probably 4 or 5 years ago. I lost the match. I talked to Higa and like, oh, I'm sorry, like I represented you, like I thought like someone like dishonor, dishonor. And he goes, Nobuo, did you run something? Like, yes. Like if you run something, it's good. At that time, I didn't get what he tried to mention that too. But after 3 years, like later, like actually like now I understand. Actually, that's going through like learning spiritual and being a character build too. And it's not just win. Of course, we try to win, and but I think that was a very great lesson. And now I was not planning to teach like this. More like I focus more myself to be a, like samurai spirit or something. And somehow just kind of incident go through, and I kind of start to run a school. And then lots of people help me, support me, and I recognize I came from Japan, and I love Japan, and like I like Japanese culture. I mean, like I like kind of samurai culture too. Then like I love America. Then like why I'm kind of here, and I thought something I have to kind of share what I have, something I can offer, and then I think that's a kind of I start to do this couple. I probably did. I start to recognize now, and then yes, I should do more. Best I can do. It's teaching. Like I try to share some things actually.
In your teachings, what are some things that you try to focus on? Obviously, you're teaching technique, but
Yes.
what are some mental toughness things or some philosophies or a philosophy that you always find yourself teaching and sharing with the students?
Yes, actually, I just talked to my friend. He said, "Oh, I like to teaching somebody," and I just spoke to him too. I'm living here. My English is not perfect. I hope everybody understand. But,
It's perfect. It's good. It's perfect.
And so, like, sometimes I ask it is grammar, right? Like, I ask a friend, but sometimes people couldn't answer. And then they can speak English well, but its teaching is different. And Jiu Jitsu is actually same thing. It's like a language. Yes, you can just watch the DVD or YouTube and then copy the technique, the show the technique. I think anybody can do, even though you're a Jiu Jitsu guy. And but teaching really true deep Jiu Jitsu, you have to understand what is the language you're speaking. And those stuff has a big influence from the Machado family, which is he can share me a lot. And that's why I try to share to the when I teaching. It's not just techniques. Yes.
Interesting. How can people reach you? And if there's anything else you'd like to share with us? There's
Today,
so many. I mean, I heard you.
yes.
So actually, one more thing I'd like you to share, if you don't mind. You told me you've done some writing on samurai and Japanese
Yes,
culture.
yeah.
Where can people find that?
So I posted 3 articles at the BJJ Europe, and I finished the draft for the samurai culture and like my experience. of course. And right now we are kind of try to make a process to publishing a book right now. And I hope I can share how to. So right now I can reach to the www.wayofjujitsu.com. And after finish the books, probably we.
Will it be available on Amazon?
Yes.
Do you know the title yet? Or
it's no.
Still
Yeah, it's draft was ready, but
Yeah.
we gotta work lots of things right now. So,
Cool.
it should be Amazon.
Okay.
I hope this year.
Okay.
Latest next year.
Awesome.
Yes. And the last things I just talk about kind of stuff and. Today I met the Professor Eliot, and that was very kind of spiritual meeting. I feel I don't know how he feel, but like it's something lots of connection. With just as you came here the fight, and lots of I kind of saw the kind of connection. Like it's a kind of like a synchronicity, like something. So that's I kind of felt.
Yeah. It's been really, I've had a great time training here. Thank you for the open doors and the hospitality. Guys, www.wayofjujitsu.com.
Yes.
If you're looking for a place to train or drop in Denver, Colorado, hit them up. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you, Sensei.